All right. Hi. Hello. This is Paul Slakis. I'm here with Marisa Zeppieri. Hi. How are you?
Hi, Paul. I'm good, thank you.
See, if I didn't say it properly, you can see her name is here underneath her, and she's very cool. And I love her painting in the back as well. And actually, we're going to talk about quite a serious subject because um, Marissa is very involved and very successfully involved. I want to congratulate you on your success and an author. Um, and she's involved with lupus, all right? It's an anti-immune, autoimmune concern. I know people that have it, and it's not a good deal. It's not good news. It's a bad news, I'll have to even say, because any of these immune problems, of which there are many, and cause a lot of unfortunate damage. And in many scenarios, it hasn't to date, because science keeps changing. Some of them haven't been able to be curable. But we're going to talk about marijuana, which I like and have for a long time. And it's, I think, some relevance to lupus and to autoimmune diseases. And we're going to talk about her work. Welcome. Hi, how are you?
I'm really good, thank you. How are you?
I'm good. She asked me before and I couldn't shut up. But in any case, I'm going to shut up now. So tell me about you. How, where, and she's helping out the big AstraZeneca, all the people I interviewed, Janssen's, J&J. I mean, she got a hit list here of big corporate America, pharma, as well as just speaking arrangements and all over the place. And you were a Ms. something. What were you, a Ms.?
I was a Mrs. New York in 2015.
Do we have to say any more? All right. So, okay. So tell me more about you. So you're a New Yorker?
I'm a New Yorker, born and raised, and I started LupusChick about 13 years ago. We are a nonprofit, but we're also an online social community for anyone with lupus or autoimmune disease and chronic illness. And, it started out as a small blog, reached a couple people a week, and now we reach about 400,000 people a month. So it's grown over the years, and it's an amazing community, and it definitely helps spread awareness, and it just helps people.
So just even that, the success story really, though, indicates a very concerning concern, I'm going to say. I like that. 400,000 people are coming to see you, to talk to you, to hear from you, to share with you, and so on. You'll tell us more about what you do. That's a big number. Just think of 400,000 people with lupus. Are how many, probably more, right? Millions? How many people?
Well, they estimate 5 million worldwide, but that's a very old number. So I'm sure it's higher at this point. But, a lot of people that come to us are people that have lupus, are people that have multiple autoimmune diseases, or they're in the middle of getting diagnosis. And also it's friends and family members that just want to learn more.
I understand that. So tell us, maybe if you give us a 101 here, what is lupus?
Lupus is a chronic inflammatory autoimmune disease. The easiest way to describe it is our immune systems basically attack our cells. It's when it sees our blood, our cells, our organs, it doesn't notice or recognize that it belongs there. So it feels like it needs to attack it. The way in a healthy body, if you get a cold or a flu or something, your body automatically turns on and knows this doesn't belong here. I need to get rid of it. Unfortunately, it does it to ourselves. So every case of lupus is different in severity. Some people have very mild cases and are not on medication. There's moderate, there is severe. And there's also, unfortunately, people that pass away because of lupus and complications from the disease.
Okay, so it's quite a serious concern. And what are some of the symptoms, and what are some of the, how do you know you have lupus?
So lupus is a little tricky because it is difficult to diagnose because it mimics so many other diseases. Very common symptoms in the beginning that people might notice is severe fatigue, muscle and joint pain, rashes, maybe sensitivity after they get out of the sun. They might have mouth or nose sores. They might be losing their hair, or they might notice some issues when urinating, if they have any kidney involvement, or even trouble breathing. So you can see how those can overlap, especially in the world that we live in today with certain other things. And fevers. Fevers are very common as well. So, it usually takes multiple times of getting symptoms and seeing doctors and getting blood tests to sort of put all the pieces together.
Then who does somebody go to if they feel they have some of those concerns?
Usually it starts at a primary doctor, and they will either run some initial tests such as, an ANA test or SED rates, things like that. But typically they will send someone to a rheumatologist, and that is who would ultimately check you for different rheumatological conditions and autoimmune conditions.
And there's many of them, aren't there?
There's over 100.
Yeah, it's and it seems from what I know of this concern that they like multiply. You might have one, but then you might have another. It's like
right. It's very common once you have one to get more as the years progress.
Yeah. So let's now. So hence is the problem and the concern and the uncomfortableness and maybe more serious scenarios. Do people die from lupus?
They do. It really depends on the severity and what organ lupus is involved in that person. For me personally, I've had, blood issues. Lupus likes to attack my blood, whereas someone else, it might attack their kidneys, so they'll need dialysis or a kidney transplant. In some of my worst seasons, I can share, I've had like vasculitis. I have a brain aneurysm from that right now. I've had blood clots. So there are serious concerns with lupus, especially if it's not well controlled.
Well, I have to though say, you look marvelous.
Thank you.
So it never hurts to look marvelous, but internally we have these concerns that are happening to us. So tell us some of the things then that your organization, and then tell something about you. I wrote a book. What is the book? The book sort of is about you though, right? Your path on this journey of your life scenario.
A little bit. It's a hybrid memoir. So it's a little bit about my story, but it's also somewhat of a self-help book. It's called Chronically Fabulous. It's on pre-order now, and it comes out May 4th. It's available everywhere, Amazon, Barnes and Nobles.
May 4th, that's like right around the block.
I know, it's coming. So it really just teaches, it's sort of an extension of LupusChick. When I started LupusChick, I wanted people to be able to come there and find things that are encouraging, motivating, positive, and supportive. I didn't want them to leave there thinking, oh my God, my life's over and I'm going to die, because you can find so much of that online. And I did not want that to be the case when they came to our community. I wanted them to feel like they're part of a very strong group of men and women, and that we're all in this together, and that we can thrive despite the fact that we have a condition. And that's basically what I share in the book.
So with your, is it what is there a website? How has this evolved? You have a website, you have Facebook, you have Instagram. What is your mode of medias?
Yeah, we have a website. It's LupusChick.com. We're very big on social. We have a Facebook page under LupusChick, and we have an Instagram under LupusChick Official. We have a YouTube channel. We have about 100,000 followers. We do a lot of videos. We go live. We have a lot of guests. We post every day. We're pretty busy.
Beautiful. So how about the communications between the community? Or is it mainly online, or is there support groups of some sort somewhere?
We do some lives where people join in, and we have like a weekly episodic series. So people join in to listen to the different experts that we have on. We don't necessarily have in-person support groups anymore, obviously because of COVID. But we do a lot of stuff online. We even do like art therapy nights where everyone from across the country joins. Like, we usually get a couple dozen people that will come and paint with us, and we'll just sort of do more of like a relaxing therapy session to get your minds off of lupus. So that's always nice.
So would they possibly paint something that was like the background to where you are sitting?
So this is my Frida. She's taking a very long time. I couldn't teach that in 2 hours, but usually it's a 2 hour session.
And she looks like a Frida. She looks like
Getting there.
who was that girl I interviewed? Selma Hayek.
That's who she's resembled after.
Well,
Yep.
what the heck? I interviewed her. So well, that's good, and she's a wonderful actor. Well, that's great. Why Frida? Why Selma?
I actually talk about Frida in the book. She's just someone that I always looked up to because she suffered from a lot of medical conditions since she was, in her early adulthood years, I suppose. And she really struggled her entire life, but she didn't let it stop her from living out her purpose. And today, she's still so well known as a figure of inspiration.
Yeah, all right. I'm on that page. So so now let's go back to the little Marisa, the little girl. So the little girl here somewhere in New York somewhere is a healthy little baby or has had problems since a little girl.
Yeah, not really the healthiest baby. I've really had autoimmune conditions since I was born, really. So it just sort of evolved.
And dealing with that, the family and everybody and you and so on, what the path of, for those parents that might have a baby that unfortunately has some difficulties, how have you dealt with that? Or is that in the book also?
Yeah, to some extent, it's tough. It's
If
you
you
have
don't
to
mind me
really,
asking.
oh no, not at all. My life's an open book, really.
Okay,
Um,
good.
you
So's mine.
know, you 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 really have to advocate for yourself. You really have to advocate for your children. You need to, if a doctor isn't, getting answers or you feel like they're not listening to you, it's okay to fire them and move on and get another opinion, really. And you have to accept the fact that not everyone in your life, friends or family members, will understand the journey all the time. And some people that you thought would always be there may just not be able to handle it. So it's really important to find your community, whether it's local, whether it is just a group of friends and family, or if it's online, because there are times when you're going to need extra support when things get rough.
So and then so let's say I'm gonna go up a couple years just for the fun of it. I don't know about the fun of it. I'm sorry, but just go up like so. Now you're a teenager. I mean, did you have any scenarios? I mean, teenagers are the pain in the neck to begin with, and everybody's bugging everybody and they're putting everybody into crazy scenarios. I mean, did you have any like physical that could be seen that people would know? I mean, were you able to be a fully active person?
No, since really the age of 8, I had a lot of symptoms. I was in the doctor's office a lot. This is going back into the 80s. No one ever tested me for lupus. I never even heard of the word. But I had a lot of photosensitivity, which is like sun issues. I had a lot of fevers. I had a lot of pain. I napped a lot, not normal for an 8-year-old. I had a hard time doing a lot of physical exercise. So there were definitely symptoms there, but they would come and go and they wouldn't typically come at once together. So I don't think that the doctors ever really put 2 and 2 together. I didn't get diagnosed till I was actually in my 20s.
Uh-huh. How do you feel now?
Every day is an adventure with my body.
Okay. Okay. Well, that's such is life, right? I mean, I
Mhm.
guess everybody every day is in essence an adventure as well.
Yes,
And the important thing is to try, in my eye, keep pushing the concept of enjoy every moment. Um,
I
and
do.
and what keeps you running? What keeps you going?
Probably because I'm like a crazy type A personality. There's so much stuff I want to do. I have so many hobbies. I love, just every morning, like waking up and having like a new day to do things. And there's still so many things I want to achieve. So I don't know, it just keeps me going over all of the bad stuff.
Yeah, but the word it is out there is that you like to nap now. The
I
fact
do
is
love.
I heard you were like almost like a professional napper. That's you know, it's just it's on the Upper West Side. It's out in the sky. I don't know. Is that so? Tell us the truth
I
there.
I love a good nap. Yes. A good afternoon siesta. It might be the Italian in me. So
Oh yeah, yeah. You're supposed to. You're not even Italian if you don't nap. Oh well, that's really good. Now let me ask you about your napping. Are you able to nap like on a without a clock? I got a buddy. He tells me if he wants a 12-minute nap, he can take a 12-minute nap. Now
oh no.
I think he's a little questionable. You know, I know him a long time. I question that. Are you like a good napper? Like if you say, hey, I think I'm gonna nap for an hour, you could like nap for an hour. Do you think you have an internal clock?
So it's really hard to describe the fatigue
I'm sure
unless you
nobody
have,
asks you these questions.
oh no, this is good. Because when you have such a chronic illness like that, that fatigue is so crushing where you know you start getting other symptoms when you're exhausted, and you know that as soon as you lay down, you're done, you're out. So once I hit that point in the afternoon, I barely remember even falling asleep, and I try not to set an alarm because I like to let my body sleep as long as it needs. And then I have no problem going to sleep at night. I mean, that's the thing,
Right.
unfortunately, with lupus is we usually have so much fatigue where I could sleep day and night. It wouldn't change the fatigue level. It's not like a healthy person who takes a nap and maybe once in a blue moon and they feel completely refreshed.
Ah.